And just so you know, you'll have this copy to download afterwards, so you can go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a Starseed Origins reading, and it's going to be for 30 minutes. It's, you know, it's going to be a short one. It's amazing how fast time is going to fly by, and it's a good thing to have a recording. So as soon as I'm saying that, I get this energy above my head. You may feel the same thing as me. It might just be me, but it's a lot of pressure right here on the top of my head, even into the frontal lobe of my head. And then it's washing down the front of my face. And this energy feels like after you do this many readings like I've done, in the beginning, I wasn't really channeling one's starseed origins, but over time, that was just something that somebody wanted to know. And I wanted to know mine too. And, you know, does one only have one starseed origin, or does one have many starseed origins? In my experience, a soul can do up to 7. So usually a person that likes to try a lot of cool different things all the time likely has more starseed origins. That seems to be the running theme. So they'll try out different vessels, different energies, whether they be physical or non-physical. And then some souls, they just want to do this and then come to Earth making 2. Okay, so it's just easy peasy, no biggie. I have yet to meet a soul or a person that has only incarnated on Earth. I haven't met one yet. Although the angels tell me there are some on Earth, I just haven't met them. If I met someone like that, I would love to have like a good chat with them. About their life experience, and then I'd love to channel them, and you know, I would be all over it because it's just something I haven't experienced yet. So what that means is that I've only met souls that have incarnated elsewhere, and then they've come to Earth. And the gist I get, the theme I'm getting from the angels is that our souls practice lifetimes elsewhere, and then they're ready for Earth. Just coming to Earth might be a bit off than one can chew. If you want, you know, it would take a real strong soul to do that. I'm not saying it's not possible. Okay. So the energy I'm getting on the top of my head, when I'm tuning into it, it feels so Arcturian. And that's the clairsentience of what I'm feeling, the feeling of it. I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm just feeling Arcturian. So some of the characteristics of a person that has brought in Arcturian energy experiences into this vessel would be up in thought a lot, possibly overanalyzing or overthinking things more than they need to. Even as far as maybe being A-type personality or left brain oriented. Whereas, for example, with a Pleiadian energy, if you've had many lifetimes like that, laughter, frolicking, really just like heart center, not really thinking about the future, rather being in the now. And that doesn't mean I don't overthink things sometimes too, but that I'm just trying to give an example of bringing in that energy, that frequency into your vessel in this lifetime. So, and if you have any questions about what comes through, you ask away before we even get to your questions, because you might have questions about what comes through first. So I'm going to channel through a message for you, and then when they're ready, we'll move to your actual questions. So we'll see where we're going to go with this. It's definitely Arcturian, and it's right above my head. Okay. Starseed family member. So many of us have starseed family members from other incarnations, and that energy is coming here to this incarnation to help us through this lifetime. So, for example, I have 3 Pleiadians that hang out with me. One's helping me with cooking and my diet and eating high vibrational foods on this path of ascension. One's helping me keep my thoughts high vibrational, or letting any cares or worries go. And then I've got a third who is the same energy as my spirit guide. So he's fractioned off into this Pleiadian non-physical energy that's assisting and watching over everything. So he's assisting and watching over everything. So this is quite a strong Arcturian energy here with you. Let's just see where we're going to go with this. Just saying it's an honor to be able to chat with me and channel through me today. Most beloved one. They're telling me your Arcturian Starseed family members telling me that I'm cherished by many on the other side. Really sweet. But this is about you today. Pointing at you and saying that. Okay. I'm getting this. Oh, how it is such an honor to be able to step forward and help you and assist you through this lifetime. Wasn't always here with you. If you want to call newly on the scene. So this Arcturian Starseed family member is here on the scene at this juncture because you need this energy to assist you in your life at this time. So as soon as you started to expand, open, awaken, that's when this energy stepped forward to assist. And then moving into ascension, lifting, raising a vibrational frequency, and wanting you to know you're doing a great job. Talking about you being up in the head and analyzing if you're doing it right or if there's something more you can be doing. Yeah. And then smiling warmly and saying you're exactly where you need to be and you're exactly where it is best to be right here, right now. Okay, so some of the incarnations that this Starseed family member has had with you is older brother, a male friend. Yeah, this energy is coming through and vocalizing what I'm feeling. It's not coming through as super masculine. It's kind of coming through as neutral, or I don't think it's androgynous. I'd say neutral, and that's because this energy has had many lifetimes in vessels where there wasn't a predominant sex or a sexual orientation. Okay. 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 And I also see lifetimes where he was male and also female. He just said to me, I like to cover all the bases. He wants this message to come through, and I think it's not just for you. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is or description is. Just be who you are. Just be who you want to be. Be free and be happy being you. Yeah. It doesn't have to be what society has taught you to be or is trying to teach you to be or even deems as being worthy of being. Just be happy and be who you choose to be. Okay, thanking me like this, thanking me. Okay. He just said, all right, well, this is a Starseed Origins reading, so let's get going. That's hilarious. Okay, so he's going to take the front seat and be in charge of this reading. He's telling me today, and I'm just going to see if I can get a name for him. He said Axel, like Axel Rose. Okay. Now, if you want to call him Ax or A or any of that, okay, you can do that. Or even if you want to say my Arcturian Starseed family member that's here assisting me, you can say that. Or my Starseed friend. Ooh, he's just putting all that in my head. So, like, you can, if whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? That's cracking me up. Okay, so he's like this. He's ready for your questions. Like he's all like getting ready. He's doing this. They do that sometimes when they're really eager and excited to answer a question. So you go right ahead with your first question for him. So your first question, you know what we should, I don't know if you want to, but like, are there any other origins that you've been? Is there anything else other than Arcturian and human that you've tried out? Do you want to see that? We haven't even covered that gamut.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Also Pleiadian. Yeah. He's giving me the Arcturian in my face, and over here I'm getting the soft, gentler side of Pleiadian. But more Arcturian than Pleiadian. You've had more experience as Arcturian than Pleiadian. He says coming here to Earth is about expansion and growth through contrast. He said that you also heard the call or the SOS from the Earth herself needing assistance. And for the love of the earth, the love of the land, the love of nature, the love of the animals, you came forth to assist here. So if you feel that way towards the earth and animals strongly, that pull, even a pull to go outside a lot, it wouldn't surprise me. Does
Yeah.
that resonate?
Yeah, I've recently become vegetarian, like,
Ah,
which is a
okay.
struggle because I'm
Yeah.
from Texas where we all eat meat and barbecue. And so,
And I'm going to barbecue something else, people.
yeah,
Yeah. Or
yeah,
bringing your own food. I've done that a lot too.
yeah,
He's saying it's admirable that you are following your conscience,
yeah.
and is also coupled in with you wanting to raise your vibrational frequency. Okay. All right. So any other lifetimes that we should be aware of? He's saying no, and he's doing this with his head. So we have predominantly Arcturian and then Pleiadian and then Earth. Okay. And is there anything you want to share with us about any of these lifetimes? He's talking about some of your lifetimes you were set in a pattern of lifetimes, but you're really breaking the mold and the pattern by coming to Earth and incarnating here.
Mm.
Although there are times and moments he's talking about being in one's comfort zone,
Mhm.
depending on the amount of energy that you have. So, meaning he's talking about when you're feeling more tired or having less energy for certain things, then you're okay with being in your comfort zone. Whereas if you have more oomph, more gusto, if you get fired up about something, from time to time you're okay with stepping a bit outside your comfort zone, voicing yourself. He's saying it, he says it's always good to speak up and use your throat, use your voice. But he can't say you don't, because you do. But more of that is good, he says. Okay. So, okay. So, what question would you like to ask him?
I think one of my first kind of questions is what practices can I do to master my fullest potential in this life?
Love. Okay. Oh, here we go. He's talking about being up in the head, thinking, doing, achieving, accomplishing, taking action steps towards something, and then moving into the heart,
Mm.
feeling. being, knowing, sitting with one's breath, listening to one's heartbeat, feeling one's heart chakra expand and grow. He would like more of the in the body and feeling rather than being up here and the doing, thinking, doing, achieving. It's in here the answers come up to the surface. And you feel if something feels right or doesn't feel right. He wants me to describe what that feels like and what's happening. So what happens is maybe it's something we're going to go do, or a person we're going to be around, or an event we're going to go to, or whatever it is. And all they have to do is pinch the flow of energy coming through our heart chakra, even our solar chakra or our crown chakra, and you'll feel like a tight pullback in the body, and that's a no response. And just like they'll let that go and let the energy flow, and then that will be a relaxed chest, stomach will be relaxed, and that's a yes response. So rather be in the body feeling. He also wants to talk about there's certain things coming in your future, and some of these are events, people, experiences that are divinely timed. So they are only set to come at the divine moment that they are meant to. So we call that divine timing. And so we just hang back, relax, get into a good feeling place, and await for them to arrive. There's like several in what I see in the next year. This is the next year. He's even showing up to 2 years ahead. And he's saying it up to 2 years. But in the next year, I see 3. And I see them here, here, and here in the next year. But he doesn't want that to go to your head. He doesn't want you to overanalyze and count these events or situations or big shifts or changes and go, what? Yeah, and you're thinking about it, overanalyzing it. I've got 2 more coming, or I've got 1 more coming. Okay? You say, well, we're human and we're women. But I'm surprised he even showed us that. So you've got 3 coming up this year. And then you have more coming in the second year. And I don't get any tight pullback, like warnings of any kind. It's just kind of like set before you, and it feels really kind of comfortable in my body. So even if challenging times come, remember, oh, okay, this is maybe meant to happen because it's going to get me to a better feeling place, or another is going to get me to the light, or more of a lighter aspect in my reality. So just remember that, okay? Do you want to say anything? He's saying that I'm wise because I've learned over time. So whatever big things come, even if it sinks your frequency, just know it's going to shift you in a better direction. That's what's happening globally right now. All of this is helping us slow down and move in a different direction. So many people are taking different paths now. Okay, next question.
This kind of goes along with that, but am I on the right path to fulfilling my purpose for the collective universe?
He just wants to back the truck up briefly and saying that if you want to take anything that's going to help further you into being in a feeling place, I don't know if this is like, he's using the word meditation, training, or wherever you go or whatever you do, they help get you into a feeling place rather. So getting you out of the head and into the heart more, that would be good. Okay. So we want a broader perspective as to maybe even what your purpose is. Is that what we're asking?
Yeah, that would be good.
He's going to give us the big, and then he's going to pull it back into where we are now. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Okay. Those who are incarnating on Earth at this time, right now, we are on the outer edges, the outer fringes of manifestation, co-creating, expanding. And he's showing the souls doing this right now. So your higher self, your higher state of being, there's a lot of joy with it. So although we may be here on Earth going, oh man, this is not always easy, it kind of sucks, our higher selves feel differently. So we're on the outer edges, the outer fringes. So picture white light coming from a center, and he almost wants us to see it like a volcano of light, of white light. And then it's coming down and it's continuously expanding into a void, if you want to say a void, or just expansion, light permeating out. And we are on the outer edges of that. So when we are pinched off from the flow of source frequency or the light or the lighter aspects, we're more in the lower vibrational dimensions.
Yeah.
Then we're on the outer edges. And then our soul is learning how to make our way back to the center. And we can do that at any given moment, at any given time. We can choose to react and erupt or sync our frequency, watch material that's going to drop our frequency, be around people that make us feel uncomfortable and drop our frequency, or not. It's in every given moment that we get to choose that. Okay, now he's going to pull it back. Ready? So you know why your soul is here, why you chose to come here. And now we're going to pull it back even further, meaning out, and now we're pulling it back to where we are now. Through this contrast, through the ups and the downs, this is when the most growth occurs within the brief lifetime that one has. He likens this to like that. Like our higher self will see this lifetime as like that, fleeting. And we're on to the next, and the next, and the next. Although he's chuckling and saying that often we believe in linear time. Time can seem like it's dragging out so long sometimes on Earth, and it doesn't feel fleeting when we're here in the vessel. These shifts and changes are going to start shifting and changing within you gradually over time, just as they have been. And it's leading you in one direction, he says, and in one direction only. And this direction is to help the earth and to help others here. And what we might call this is a light worker. If you feel a desire within you to learn and grow and to be of active service, to be of service here, you may wish to look at being a light worker. Yeah, that label of being a light worker. But first, he says, balance, transmutation of the lower vibrational aspects into the light, clearing our energy, and then moving forward and helping others do the same. Nothing like being in the trenches to help you get there yourself, and then you will help others get out of the trenches and move into the light. That's the path ahead of you. That was pretty direct.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the karma?
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see if I've severed or healed all past agreements with those I've had karmic experience with.
Okay. Myself, like everyone else, really was like, yeah, well, karma, you got to repay it, or you got to transmute it or something. But often the angels have an answer for this. We'll see what he would like to say to that now. So as we move onto this path of ascension and we raise in vibrational frequency, and this light permeates our vessels and helps to transmute any heaviness from this lifetime and all lifetimes into the light, there is no need for repayment of karma or to give thought to karma. If something comes up in your mind of what you think you've been through in a previous lifetime or even in this lifetime, you simply ask, please transmute this into the light. Thank you. You'll know when the light is bringing this up from the depths up to the surface within you to be transmuted, when you may have thoughts, ideas, visions of experiences you may have had in other lifetimes, or also you are thinking of something that happened in this lifetime that you haven't thought of for a while, and it's kind of like, ooh, I haven't thought of that for a while. It's kind of doesn't feel comfortable, and it comes up to the surface. It's about to get transmuted into the light, and it will be swept up and out and transmuted as much as it needs to be. He's talking about like the layers of an onion, just peeling it back. So, yes, we can focus on shadow work should we wish, but giving our attention to the lower vibrational aspects of our reality only gives these lower vibrational aspects of our reality more of our attention, focus, and power. So as we focus in on it, we're just giving it more strength. It's more on the surface of our mind now because we're thinking about it all the time. He would rather us focus on the lighter aspects of our reality. They call this light work. And let the light permeating the planet, the animals, and each of you do the work for you. And also, when the heaviness is there, giving it to the light to transmute. So, or your angels, or your starseed family members, whomever you wish, he says. He says it's just that simple. I like him.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, that sounds way simpler than I thought.
Way simpler. Yeah. Because if we keep giving our attention and our focus to the shadow side and all the depths and all the gunk that we've been through, that's what's going to be predominantly on our mind. That'll be our predominant frequency. So it does make a lot of sense. It was actually Mary Magdalene that brought that to my attention the first time on camera, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because when people talk about doing shadow work, it never fully resonated with me. I never really went, yeah. And then I got a broader perspective from them. Yeah. Okay, so what's your next question?
So I've always kind of felt that I have issues with my sacral chakra. And I've discovered that in my astrology chart as well. With Black Moon Lilith and Chiron and stuff. And so I'd really love some help in healing my sacral chakra.
I can really resonate with you on that, because literally my sacral chakra was like barely even operating, and my root chakra was just barely. I remember a friend of mine who is an energy healer. She goes, man, your sacral chakra is barely open. I'm like, really? And so she taught me, and any one of us can do this. So what I'm telling you is what I've told so many in my courses. It's so many that are relayed. You can just ask your guardian angels, Archangel Michael. If you haven't asked Archangel Michael to move in with you, highly recommend we do. Haven't checked to see if he's with you, but I'm just throwing it out there for everybody. I am asking to have each of my chakra centers replaced. Thank you. It's just that easy. When you do that, you might want to go lay down and just have some quiet time, and you'll slowly feel each chakra that needs to be replaced getting replaced. Now, if we have a lot of trauma in our lives, after that simmers down, we'll want to do it again. Stress in your life, okay, we wait, okay, and we want to replace them again. So we may have to do this several times. But like my energy healer friend told me, your root chakra came out in several pieces. I'm like, oh my God, that's not good. But when she was done, all she did was ask them to replace them. I'm like, I can do that. I can ask. And she's like, yeah, anybody can. My sacral chakra, I felt it for the first time ever. It was unbelievable, the difference, the amount of energy going through there. I finally felt energy going through there. And my root chakra felt great. And it made sense because I've had a couple surgeries down there. So, of course, these chakras were hindered from the trauma I'd been through physically. And fear, always worried about something back in the past. So it's a lot better now. So we would just go, angels, please replace my chakras. The ones that need replacing, please replace them. Thank you. And then we just go lay down for a little bit. It'll be amazing. So what they do is they gently pull the chakra out from the front, and then they infuse, and you'll feel a new one coming in through your back. Okay, so the back of your head, this comes up. They bring another one in, same with your root, and comes back up. It's amazing. Is there anything else we want to say about the sacral chakra? Here we go. So there's stuff there from past lives influencing your chakra centers in this lifetime. By you asking to have them replaced enough times, what does that mean? We'll ask what that means. So by you asking to have them replaced when you feel that your chakras need to be replaced, usually if you had stress in your life, that's a key indicator it's time to replace the chakras because they get affected by stress or trauma. That it'll just like it won't be an issue any longer. But there's certain things that played out that have affected that chakra or that energy coming through that part of the body. So why do you say that this many times? It'll take a few times of asking for it to get healthy and whole and open and flowing. Okay, so we just whenever we feel like we need to, just where this many needs to be replaced. They're talking about your lifetimes that you've had on Earth have been predominantly female. And so that chakra center from past life experiences has been affected. Okay, but we don't need to think about that because that's that. This is here now. And many times the angels say, what matters most is what's happening in this lifetime right now. That's the most important. So with that being said, with you having predominantly female lifetimes and this chakra being affected, we'll just ask to have it replaced as many times as you need. Anything else? No. Okay. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that really resonated with me though. I've always kind of felt more female energy.
Me too.
Burned at the stake several times or, beheaded or whatever.
It's that fear of stepping forward. Coming forward, isn't it? I too went through that. And I remember they're like, well, what do you think about going on YouTube? I'm like, no. I said no for 3 months straight. I was like, no way. And I was like, well, nobody else here lives in fear. It's just me. And I'm like, you know what? If they're not living in fear, I'm not living in fear. So that's how I operate. And it's been wonderful ever since.
And when I heard fear is false evidence appearing real, that was like the end.
Really
I was like, okay, gotta say that. Yeah.
It is what it is. My happiness, my internal joy, my vibrational frequency is number one. So I said to myself, if the angels want me to do this, it's for a reason and a purpose. And I've loved it ever since. And I'm so happy I listened. how many times they've asked me to do something and I couldn't understand why, but I did it anyways. And I'm like, oh, so glad I listened.
Yeah.
So do you have a couple more questions for Axel?
I would love to know what other planets or galaxies
That you've been to?
Mhm.
Let's see if he's, because it could be a lot. Let's narrow it down to human terms, shall we, Axel? No, only 1,000. Okay, okay. He's talking about you visiting Earth and going back and visiting different timelines on Earth in the non-physical. Like enjoying, like checking out the pyramids, Egypt. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing you like just observing what's going on Earth and what the transitions, the changes that have taken place on Earth. You enjoy doing that. I've often said I bet I'm doing that too because I would love to do. No wonder I'm watching all these history programs. I'm like, it's my way of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Or people's origins. I love that. Like, what's your story? You know? Okay. You visit Earth a lot. Is that now or even before she incarnated on Earth? Now, mainly now. It's like since you've been incarnating on Earth, you're checking out all the other timelines. Or I say timelines, other eras taking place, other civilizations, he's saying. Okay. You have visited other planets where souls are incarnating, determining if you thought it was best suited to incarnate there. And I see you with your guardian angels when you're doing this. So you're checking it out and saying, do I want to incarnate there? I see Sirius being a Syrian. Okay, ET. Checking that out. He said when you looked at the Pleiadian planet, it was a no-brainer you were in. It didn't take long for you to decide that. And then as far as Arcturian, you just kind of went right into it and you enjoyed it. Arcturian's quite different. There's no talking as such as a lot of telepathic communication. It's predominantly up in the head. And I mean, you can sense and you can do a lot. It's much, I think, more advanced than where we are now. So now we're here on Earth. Okay. So if you ever feel that urge, like, I wish I could just do more here. Like, I wish that I wasn't like in the, I wish, sometimes I have that feeling too. You've visited many places in the non-physical. Oh, and you're like going around visiting many different places in what is called heaven, visiting other souls, visiting other locations, watching other souls do different things or having fun doing different things, and then deciding if you want to participate or not. You're not always just jumping in and participating, but you're observing and deciding if you want to participate or not. Sometimes participating, sometimes not. So I don't know if that's you in life right now, but that's what he's describing.